everyone, it's your favorite discount Soul Reaper, Grimmjack. Today, we'll be exploring part 2 of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War in a nutshell. When we last left our heroes, things were looking about as great as my floor when I missed the toilet. Who wrote this? Don't give me that look! Several Quinsup white boys invaded Soul Society, took over Hueco Mundo, 4 captains lost their Bankai, Captain Yamamoto died, Kenpachi and Byakuya nearly died as well, thousands of Soul Reapers were massacred, and Ichigo's Bankai was broken. Man, ain't this a twist in the dick? That's a lot of damage! That's how you put it up. Play the clip of the guy saying that.
Emotional damage!
Okay, that wasn't the clip, but you get the point. The party rages on with the captains mourn the loss of Yamamoto, with the only remains being his broken Zanpakuto. As arguments break out between them, Shunsui puts on his big boy pants, steps up, and gives the non-dead captains a speech to remind them of their duty to protect Soul Society.
Alrighty, gang. Good news, bad news. The bad news is Soul Society has been completely decimated, several captains have lost their Bankai, and thousands of our comrades are dead, including our very own Captain Commander.
In what scenario is there good news that follows that?
The good news, Kensei, is that I picked up ice cream sandwiches for everyone, got one with Byakuya's name on it. Where is that old bastard? Wherever he is, I hope he shows up soon. We need his sunny disposition to build morale.
Ichigo receives news about the safety of his friends in Hueco Mundo, and also Rukia and Renji, who are in stable condition. Ichigo is praised for showing up when he did, but the compliments bounce off him as he's summoned to Mayuri's lab. He gets bad news that, like my relationship with my third wife, what the fuck? I don't even have a first wife! His Zanpakuto can't be fixed. Despite the numerous occasions where Zanpakutos were fixed, Mayuri explains that only a Shikai can be repaired, whereas a Bankai can never go back to its previous strength. Ichigo is devastated upon hearing this, but this could be because he also feels guilty about breaking Byakuya's Bankai hundreds of episodes ago. Of course, you could also blame Byakuya for breaking Renji's Bankai. Karma can be a real bitch. But no time to dwell on continuous devastating news, Mayuri announces the arrival of the infamous Zero Division. Boy, they sure are taking their sweet time getting— Oh, Jesus! What if they had been a few yards closer? I know people in power like to swing their dicks around, but this is nuts! This division is made up of 5 captains, who are stronger than the entire Gotei 13. Their duty is to guard the big man himself, the Soul King. We've got Spider-Woman, DJ Jazzy Vest, Uncle Phil, Space Dandy, and Big Mama's house.
So nice of you all to show up! Where the hell were you guys while we were getting our asses kicked? This mess is all your fault!
First off, no it's not. Second off, we kinda forgot to check our voicemails.
You have 420 missed calls. Nice. First voice message.
We need backup! There's so much blood!
See? That sounds bad.
Second voice message.
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
Oh god, that's even worse!
Leader Ichibei Hyosabe zeroes in on Ichigo and says that they're gonna take him to the Soul Palace. Senjumaru Shutara retrieves Renji, Rukia, Byakuya, and Zangetsu in pods. These were all on the Soul King's checklist of things to bring back to him in the Soul Palace, in addition to milk, eggs, and bread. Unohana projects an image from Hueco Mundo to assure everyone that they're just fine, thanks to the help of someone they're having a terrible time hiding. Grimmjack! After getting a pep talk from Unohana and news from Ichibei that Zangetsu can be reforged, Ichigo agrees to go to the Soul Palace to save his sword friend. To return to the Soul Palace, Zero Squad and Ichigo head to the Shiba Shack to get the pillars shot back up. After the launch, Kokaku alludes to their uncle being sad about Ichigo, while Ganju nonchalantly shows up with 3 dead Fullbringers, Ginjo, Tsukishima, and Butler.
My name is Giriko, and I'm in—
Zip it, Alfred! No one asked! After arriving in the Soul Palace, Ichigo and friends are immediately shot into the delinquent Pompadour section. Tenjiro Kirinji has everyone soaked in his special hot spring to heal.
This is sedentary, right? Like, I'm not swimming around in pee. Right?
I mean, it's gotta stay warm somehow, right?
Ah! That's disgusting!
Well then, consider yourself lucky you don't have to go to the Blood Hell Pond. Byakuya has to go to the Blood Hell Pond. Don't worry though, it's just a name.
Is that the sound of Byakuya boiling?
No, that's the sound of Byakuya drowning in a sea of loneliness. He wouldn't have to go through this though if the Japanese fanbase had just let him die.
In Soul Society, Shunsui is officially named the next Captain Commander and meets up with Central 46 to discuss countermeasures. His first act as commander, teach the slaughter-happy maniac of the Gote 13 to fight better. Finally! We all saw what Kenpachi can do with just holding a sword with 2 hands. The Quincy's will ship bricks if you can actually learn how to better wield a sword. But who does Shunsui assign to teach Kenpachi? Captain Unohana? Squad's 4 healing expert? But why? What's this gentle soul gonna do to help a bloodthirsty demon like Kenpachi? I take it all back. Goddamn, Unohana, you making my boy look like a Ken pussy. Please don't hurt me, murder mommy. After that butt-clenching reveal, Ichigo and Renji are healed and launched into the next section of the Gaton Palace. Kiryu Hikifune cooks food for the two to replenish and strengthen their spiritual energy. Hey, Kiryu, where's the meatloaf? We want it now! Holy shit! I know keto is good for you, but damn! Oh, then, baby. Wanna be my mama 2.0? With their bellies full, Ichigo and Renji get ready to be launched again to visit Ouetsu Nimaya, the creator of the Zanpakuto. Upon their arrival, Ichigo and Renji are treated to a concert and a bevy of beautiful ladies. Ouetsu trolls the trio until Mini Tomo-chan interrupts and speeds things up by tossing them down into Ouetsu's love shack.
Okay, what's the big idea here?
You're not getting out of there until you truly understand your Zanpakuto. Don't make me give you the Buffalo Bill treatment.
You must be talking about you, Renji. I'm obviously safe because I'm the protagonist, and I'm therefore the special boy.
Dude, what are you talking about? Chad's the main character.
It truly understands its Zanpakuto, or else it gets sent home again.
We may have to establish P-corners soon.
Get him, Asauchi!
Asakuchi, what now?
Now it's time for the Battle of Kenpachis. Live from the bottom floor of Muken, Soul Society's rowdiest prison. Round 1 starts with death. He's dead. Oh, no, wait, he's back up. He's dead again. How long are they planning to keep this up? Oh, God, humanity! Make it stop! Stop it! Stop it, Unohana, mama, dama.
People always ask me, Unohana, aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you want to go apeshit? And I just smile and laugh, because they have no idea just how apeshit I went. For like 1,000 years. All until I met you at your strongest.
We met when I was a child. I'm like 9 feet tall now, 400 pounds of pure muscle, and 20 pounds of dick! What do you mean I'm weaker?
You know that thing you do where you hold yourself back? You do it more than you think. P.S. Think fast or get Zenkai boosted. 8-year-old you would have totally blocked that.
We get to see flashbacks of the first time these two met. Young Zaraki being the first one to ever wound and even surpass Unohana. It was also the first time Zaraki enjoyed a fight, but when he realized he was transcending Unohana, he subconsciously put limits on himself to enjoy the battle longer. Unohana's goal is to release Kenpachi from those subconscious shackles by killing and reviving him over and over and over. No, you get the picture, for a long time, forcing Kenpachi to get stronger to survive. The fight reaches its climax when Unohana uses her Bankai, Minazuki, pushing Kenpachi to unlock his full power to defeat Unohana. Kenpachi laments her upcoming death, but this pain is rewarded with his Zanpakuto's first words.
You fought well, Zaraki Kenpachi.
Who's there? You don't sound like any of the other voices in my head.
Fear not. I've been by your side from the start, always with you.
Always? You even mean during?
Who
the hell are you?
My name is Mike Hunt.
My Zanpakuto's Mike Hunt? Ah, damn it, you got me!
8-year-old you wouldn't have fallen for that.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
Time to check in on our boys in the Soul Palace. Renji's looking good, so surely that means Ichigo is... failing.
What?
Sorry, Ichigo-chan, but it looks like you failed. You know what that means.
I get an A for effort, and you fix my Zanpakuto anyway?
Close. I send you back to the world of the living, ban you from returning to the Soul Palace, and throw your Zanpakuto in the recycling bin. We recycle here.
How was I close?
You weren't!
Go Halo Power!
Not funny, man! It was kind of funny.
Back home in Katakura Town, Ichigo encounters his father, Ishin, who agrees to finally fulfill the promise he made to Ichigo 2 arcs ago, and pulls a How I Met Your Mother by telling Ichigo the full backstory on how he met his mother. We are taken back a few decades ago, when Ishin was once known as Ishin Shiba, captain of Squad 10. Mitsugai gives Ishin a report about the deaths of 3 Soul Reapers in Yarakishi, a city neighboring Katakura. This many bodies leads Ishin to take matters into his own hands and investigate the city. The setting shifts to the Ishida residence in Katakura Town, where Masaki Kurosaki has been taken in by the Ishida family to be raised as a Quincy and to be part of their sweet home Alabama plan to marry her off to her cousin, Ryukin. Oh boy, I love where this is going. Psych, no, get me out of here. That night, 2 more Soul Reapers are killed by a human-shaped black hollow with a familiar-looking mask. To no one's surprise, Aizen is the one behind the killings, having created a black hollow using the souls of several Soul Reapers. Ishin engages the hollow, alerting Masaki of their spiritual pressures. Hearing this, Masaki rushes in to save those who might be in danger. This hollow, confusingly enough, is named White, and due to its Soul Reaper lineage, it can use Sero and fight like a Soul Reaper, forcing Ishin to get serious. Ishin releases his Shikai and Getsu, but is ambushed by Aizen, who normally prefers to sit in a corner and watch. No kink shaming here. A now weakened Ishin is unable to use Bankai, but manages to cut off White's arm. Before a massive Sero dooms everyone, Masaki appears to cancel it out with a Quincy arrow. Aizen sees this, gets a scientist boner, and continues to be a cuck. White switches his attention to Masaki and sinks his teeth right into her. Which, I mean, who can blame him? This close range allows Masaki to headshot White, allowing him to have more of an accurate-looking hollow outfit, complete with a little hole. I'll put a little bow on top right there, go perfect! Hey, you're a hollow! Before White explodes, Ishin shields Masaki, saving her life, and Masaki gratefully restores him to full health as a thank you.
My name is Masaki Kurosaki. I'm a Quincy.
Ugh, cool. I was starting to think Quincy were just sullen dudes in glasses, but you're pretty cute.
You're not afraid of me?
Of course not. I'm far more afraid of my broken ribs puncturing my collapsed lung and surely killing me. Speaking of which, you got a Tylenol or anything?
Ishin returns to Soul Society to report what happened, leaving out the existence of Masaki as a Quincy, though. He leaves a note for Rangiku and Hitsugaya before returning to Katakura Town to thank Masaki for her help. Back at the Ishida residence, someone tattled Masaki and gets her shunned by her non-child grooming aunt. Before the argument gets more heated, Masaki collapses and grows a hole. Man, it's a hollow hole, you sick perverts! Come on! Distressed, Ryukin runs out with Masaki to seek help, running into Ishin and Unohana. Unohana explains that Masaki is experiencing hollification, and if it isn't stopped, her soul will collapse into nothing. Detailing his scientific and supernatural jargon, Unohana reveals that he can save her by inserting, non-sexually, something opposite to what she is now, a Quincy Hollow hybrid. This weird opposite thingy would need to stay close to Masaki to stem the process completely, that opposite being a Soul Reaper human hybrid. Ishin, being the only Soul Reaper present, is given the option to enter a human body recreation to save Masaki.
So if I do this, she and I will be totally healed and be completely okay? It bothers me that you're not answering the question.
Technically, yes. You'll both be okay, and the girl will be able to maintain her Quincy abilities. You will have to stay with her at times, but in all likelihood, you'll become human, lose all your spiritual powers forever, and never be able to return to Soul Society. You ready to be a trophy husband, Isshin?
And we're sure there's absolutely no way she could be fine as a Quincy Hollow hybrid?
Pretty sure, but what do I know? I'm only the expert you came to for help on the matter.
All right, I was just joking.
See? You're already so good at being comic relief. This whole thing's gonna work great.
Masaki's consciousness, metaphorically floating in a void with white, is saved by Isshin's Getsuga Tensho, proving the operation was a success! Isshin is now mortal, with his soul bound to Masaki's. Masaki leaves the Ishida residence after graduating high school and lives with Isshin, who opens up a clinic thanks to Urahara. They continue their lives together, Isshin seeing Masaki as his sun in the sky, illuminating his life. Oh, that's so romantic. The feelings, they burn! It's so beautiful. Masaki should have chose me! It should have been me! If only I didn't have this mask that looks like a hollow mask! Ah! So, you know how things go. Time passes, they get married, bump hotties, and Ichigo and his sisters are born. Isshin explains that Ichigo inherited the Soul Reaper, Hollow, and Quincy spiritual energies from his parents, which were awakened by his encounter with Rukia, various Soul Reapers, plenty of Arankar, and a bevy of Stern Ritters, respectively. But not Ishida for some reason. Ichigo tied a sword to that guy's head, and that wasn't enough to awaken anything? If this wasn't earth-shattering enough for Ichigo, Isshin has one last truth bomb to lay on Ichigo, the truth of his mother's death. To put it bluntly, Masaki wasn't supposed to have died the day she protected Ichigo from the hollow known as the Grand Fisher. Masaki lost her powers at the worst possible moment. Possibly for, some cruel prank. And was... I don't want to say it. Dad! Why'd you have to die? On that day, Yuha performed Ashvalan, which helped him regain his strength through the stealing of the power of all Quincy he deemed as impure. So Masaki was killed by Grand Fisher due to being powerless, as well as being a victim of poor timing. Allow Professor Grimmy to explain. Yuha is the father of all Quincy. When a Quincy's born, they automatically receive a portion of his power. The power that is lent cultivates, growing bigger and more powerful. And like a predatory student loan corporation, Yuha can cash in on that loan and take the power back with interest, crippling the recipient. Well, thanks, Professor Grimmy. That made me sad. Ichigo comes to understand who he is and renews his resolve. Now, if he could just grab a ride back to the Soul Palace. Oh, there we go. Ichigo is thrown back into the Asachi pit to retake the challenge. This time, the Asachi all bow down to Ichigo, and one turns into Ichigo's inner hollow. Everyone is trying to boost their powers for the Quincy War, with highlights of Hitsugaya sharpening his swordsmanship, Shuei Hisagi Bankai training, Soifon channeling her inner Bruce Lee, Mayuri conducting unknown experiments, something sexual most likely, and Komomura meeting his ancestor, a giant scruffy doggo! Oh, look at that, he looks old. Is he gonna die?
Sajin! My less than great-grandson! What has brought you back after abandoning your clan, hiding your shame and becoming a Soul Reaper?
I want you to train me, so I can avenge my fallen comrades.
What makes you think you can come crawling back demanding such things?
It is something a good boy would do.
You dare question my goodness? I am the goodest doggo! You dare defy my status?
Ouetsu takes Ichigo and his Asachi to an underground waterfall pool through a slide. Woo! Who doesn't love a good water slide? The underground pool is the location of Ouetsu's forge, where he crafts Zanpakuto. Ichigo's Asachi turns into a hunk of metal, and then the girls get it done. You know, like starting fires, cooling stations, sharpening metal, and ripping out a tooth to make a hammer. You know, normal girl stuff. As he forges Ichigo's new Zanpakuto, Ouetsu implies that the one who served as Ichigo's Zanpakuto spirit is an imposter. This realization shifts Ichigo into his inner world, where he confronts Old Man Zangetsu. The old man comes clean and admits he isn't the real Zangetsu, but instead a representation of Ichigo's Quincy powers, in the form of Yuha from 1,000 years ago. Turns out the old man could have done a bit more to help our boy Ichigo, as the one who constantly saved him during battle wasn't the old man, but Ichigo's inner hollow. The alleged Zangetsu admits to limiting Ichigo's potential to prevent him from becoming a Soul Reaper. Dick move, Tuha. Thankfully, the old man's heart grew 3 sizes after watching Ichigo overcome obstacle after obstacle. Before fading away, the old man shows Ichigo the true form of Zangetsu and releases Ichigo's true power. And cue the music.
So baby, I'll make sure you never break again. Both of you.
Seems like Ichigo got a 2 for the price of 1 deal, now holding 2 Zangetsus. He makes a promise to both of his special sword ghosts to never ask them for power that is not his own, as well as promising not to push them away. Ichigo will fight as himself and accept that he and Zangetsu are one. The scene then cuts to Yuha calling a meeting with the Stern Ritter to announce his new successor. What the hell, dude? You just came in this season! What do you mean you're already bouncing out? And the successor is no other than Uryu Ishida. Bum bum bum! Goddamn, man, we were just making fun of you a second ago. Now you're a big shot? Goddamn, okay. What nefarious plans do these Quincy bastards have in store for Soul Society? Will Ichigo's badass blades turn the tide of war? Will Soul Society and Ichigo's friends be prepared? And what of the traitorous slime bucket Uryu? If this video gets enough likes and requests, I'll do a part 3, jumping straight into the second core of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. And that's it. Your lovable little hollow boy Grimmy is signing out. Goodbye. I'm good. I'm a good boy. I know how to aim properly. Ladies. The ladies part was pretty funny. Yeah. I'm trying to recover from this.